What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. We are down here to talk about Real Housewives of New York. I gotta watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'll watch that today. I'm all messed up with the schedule. I haven't written anything down in terms of like my schedule. Normally I write down like what shows am I reviewing, and I haven't done that since the new shows came on. So I'm off because I don't know what day Beverly Hills comes on. I don't know. I don't know what day any of the shows come on. So I got to get my schedule together. So the episode was pretty good. Eboni said she's going to take a break from the internet for a little while. Overall, the conversation between Luann and Eboni, that was really weird. I'm glad that somebody was taping it. I'm glad that we are able to like go back and we could see raw footage, because Luann, she lied. I don't know. It was weird how they were going back and forth with Eboni. And this is what I was afraid of, I was afraid of Eboni dealing with microaggressions. Although I don't think that the thing that happened with Ramona was as bad as what happened with Luann. I was like, ugh. I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed with Luann. Luann used to be my girl. Dorinda is my girl. Dorinda needs to be back. Dorinda needs to come back. I feel like Dorinda needs to be there. Like, why are y'all giving Heather Thompson? Is that her last name? Why Heather? Why? I don't want Heather. Heather, I don't know. I don't want Heather. Anyways, so they start off where they left off. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by. They go ahead and they were talking about Ramona being a button pusher and how she pushes people's buttons and she makes people upset. So talking about how she made Sonia and Leah upset. And then they also talked about how the girls make up fast, and Ramona and Leah are having the sex positive conversation, and she's like, I don't get it. I mean, what is it called? It's called sex positive. And she was like, I was never taught to talk about sex. Like, this dick is big. I like dick. I got a wop. She's doing all of these things. And I think what Ramona was doing at that time, because she was talking and she was just real comfortable about it. And I felt like she was telling Leah, like, I can talk about stuff like this, but I don't choose to. And, the way that society raises women is that, yes, you can be screwing up the walls hanging from a chandelier, but don't talk about it. Don't talk about sex, because if you talk about sex, you'll seem like you're easy and you just don't have any scruples about you. So it's a performance, right? So don't talk about sex while you and your friends can pass Tom, Dick, and Harry around, right? Because they got the dicks between Tom and Harry. But y'all can pass these niggas around, but don't say pussy. Can you edit yourself just a little? Can you edit yourself just a little? How do y'all feel about that? Don't tell me to edit myself. Now, I have a feeling a way about this because we know how Ramona is. It's the hypocrisy, and that's the problem. It's like you do all these things, but when people are around, you're like, don't talk about sex. Don't talk about sex. She likes dick. I guess she just doesn't like to talk about it. And like I said, that's how, especially conservative white women, honey. They, like Leah said, you a hoe, and you a hoe. Y'all sleeping with each other's husbands. You sleeping with your sister's husband and all this shit. But don't say pussy. Don't say dick. And y'all be the biggest hoes. That's what she was trying to say. Look, I'm trying to get in the sun. And she said, just talk sensually, right? And so Eboni was like, what's the problem? Didn't you just say you can take a big dick? And she was like, no, I did not say that. So Ramona gets up and she walks away, and then Eboni goes running after her. She was like, I heard you say you could take a big dick. So as Ramona's walking up the stairs, she's talking about whatever happened to elegance and class. Y'all some raggedy hoes. And y'all feel like just because you don't talk about something, and I'm so tired of this performative stuff that women have to, these rules that women have to abide by to seem ladylike. Girl, by. That's what happened to it. People are talking about it. Anyways, so the next day, Eboni and Leah are having a conversation, and Sonia and Ramona are having a conversation. And I love when when Ramona was like, Eboni had a few drinks and had a few glasses of champagne, and she was feeling exuberant. But I don't think that Ramona was really mad. And you know what? And as I'm looking at Ramona, I feel like I'm seeing somebody different, but the same. Like I don't know. She seems a little more, even in the midst of all of this stuff, she seems a little bit more lighthearted. I don't know if I want to call it lighthearted, but it's like, I don't know if she's holding on to things long or what's happening, but it seems different. Ramona seems different. I don't know what it is. But Ramona they start talking about Heather. I feel like Heather is there to get a story for her podcast. I don't feel like Heather is there because she's friends with any of those women. I feel like Heather thinks that these women are going to get drunk, they're going to let their guard down, and I'm going to have a good podcast. That's how I feel. Like I don't think that Heather is there for the girls. I think she's there. She has ulterior motives. And Sonia and Ramona are really concerned about Heather talking about them. And she was like, well, did she say she would stop talking about us? And she was like, no, she didn't. So Ramona asked Heather later, was she going to continue to talk about them? And she was like, well, I'm going to talk about my experience and things that I experienced. And that's one thing you got to be careful of. If you don't want anybody talking about you, then you have to understand that it depends on the experience that they have with you. If I'm talking about my experience that I had with you and you weren't the best person, then you may not like the story. So it is your duty to ensure that when people are with you, they have good experiences. So when they retell the story, it's told in a good light, or you're seen in a good light. If you're so concerned about how you look or how people receive you, then you just got to be mindful of that. And I understand what Heather is saying. Like, I'm going to talk about my experiences. So if you and I had an experience, I'm going to talk about it. Doesn't mean I'm talking about you. I'm talking about what you and I experienced together. Now, if it was a story that I don't have nothing to do with and I'm just talking about you, then I could see. But if I'm talking about our experience, you can't tell me not to share my experience. You can't. And I put his Heather spying on them for a podcast episode. That's how I feel. That's what it looked like to me. They get to Luann's house. So the next day, they're going to go to Luann's house. They're going to do a nude or life drawing, I guess they call them. Garth is cooking his lamb curry. I didn't know Garth was 50 years old. He does look good. He doesn't look 50 years old. He doesn't look 30, but he doesn't look 50. So whatever. So he's not that much younger than Luann. Luann says she really likes Garth because he's there when he calls, or he follows through. He's there when you need him. I mean, I guess Garth is good for Luann, but he's not like my cup of tea. To each his own, you know what I'm saying? So they're on their way to Luann's house, and Leah and what's the girl name? Eboni. They're downstairs getting their makeup done. Now, Eboni gets her makeup and her hair done. So they're down there. Ramona comes down and she's like, what are y'all doing? What's going on? She was like, well, we need about 15 more minutes. She was like, well, why the hell can't y'all, we need to go. Like, I'm hungry. Like, let's go. I don't think, now y'all gonna get mad at me because y'all already saying that you seem like you're more harder on the black women than you are on the white women. Okay. Ramona coming down there asking them to hurry up because they're getting their makeup done. Eboni injecting the fact that she is a black woman and so she needs her hair to be a certain texture that she likes in order to go about her day. I don't think that injecting the fact that you are a black woman and that your hair is different was necessary in that moment. I feel like you could have said, I messed my hair up and so I need to fix my hair. I think that would have sufficed. I don't think that she had to say, I'm a black woman and I need to do my hair, because there are some women just who take long to get ready because they have to do their hair. So that I wasn't really with Eboni on that. While I understand, I have to sit back like this, huh? While I understand, I don't think that it was a necessary component in what was happening in that moment. The fact was that you guys are late because you're down here getting glam. The same way Kyle and Dorit go at each other for Dorit taking forever to get ready, and she comes all glammed up looking like a Barbie. That bothers Kyle. The same thing that happened with Ramona and Ramona saying that she was hungry and she let's go. And then immediately after, when Leah leaves and goes upstairs and she goes, I'm just gonna wait with her. Yeah, she was like, yeah, come on. She was like, no, it's okay. I'm just hungry. I'm hangry. And then when they get to the event, when they get to Luann's house, Eboni, which was like, they put on the thing 12 minutes after. She said 15 minutes. She said it was gonna be about 15 more minutes. And she said when they got there, it said on the bottom 12 minutes after Ramona arrived. So they weren't that late. And then when they get in the house, she tells Ramona, oh, I'm sorry, like that. She was like, no, I was just hungry, but whatever. Like, it's whatever. I don't think Ramona was like, it wasn't any of that. It was how she received it. But she was like, well, why you just didn't start earlier? And I don't think there needs to be a conversation on the education on how Black women need to take care of their hair. Because I think all women want their hair to look nice before they go someplace. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But we not done yet. We not fucking done yet. Then Eboni mentions in her interview that, this is not 1865, or in 1865 we had the Emancipation Proclamation. They could have taken that out. That didn't have nothing. She was like, you don't get to tell me how, I'm free. And she's, any girlfriends would come downstairs and be like, girl, why are y'all taking so long? I'm hungry. Why y'all didn't start your hair earlier? Like, we all would have said the same thing. If one person was ready, I got a bald head, I'm ready to go. What the fuck? I just gotta put me some jojoba oil on or a scarf around my head. What's up? Y'all taking so long? Why y'all didn't start early? You wouldn't have to sit down and explain to me, Erica, we are Black women and we have to have our hair a certain texture. Bitch, you start earlier. You understand what I'm saying? I think anybody would be the same way. Anyway, Luann wants to fix Sonia up with that man Alfredo, baby. Luann was like, I think he would be nice. And Sonia was like, she don't know. She's like, I'm the artsy one. I don't want no artsy dude. I want a banker. Like, I want somebody with some money, girl. What the hell is she talking about? Not no damn broke ass artist. Basically, that's what Sonia was saying. But then Luann was like, Sonia is jealous and this and that. And it's like, Luann is such a narcissist. When I tell you that bitch is so fucking, it's so like, it's so ugly to see. And she really be thinking she doing something. And it's like so ugly to see. And she was like, Garth has a good soul. She can count on him. Then they're sitting at the table talking about how it's uncomfortable to talk about sex. No, they're not sitting at the table. They're just standing around, I think. Well, they're talking about it being uncomfortable for Ramona to talk about sex. I still think, and that's why she keeps bringing it up, I said it last week, that Ramona looks at Leah and she sees Avery. That's it. You see your daughter in Leah. And so when Leah talks about sex, that's why it's okay to talk about sex and whatever, and to a certain point with Sonia and Luann. But when Leah's talking about it, somehow, some way, it just bothers you. And it's because it's like your daughter is talking about sex. And that's how I feel. That's what she keeps mentioning Avery. What you mentioning Avery for? Avery and Leah are two different people. They don't have nothing to do with each other. I don't even fucking know Avery. Like, and you keep trying to make it seem like it's your daughter up here talking about dicks and ass and pussy and eating ass and shit like that at the dinner table. It's not. And then they showed this like clip from Leah sitting with Avery and her friends, and they know like how conservative white women, they already know. They know the script, huh? They have already been programmed, honey. You can be the wildest sorority girl, up the wall, fucking up the wall, fucking on Velcro walls. You can be hanging from the chandelier, honey, swimming butt naked in the pool, fucking in the woods, whatever it is. But don't talk about sex. Girl, it's the hypocrisy for me. So Alfredo, he comes to meet Sonia, and she said he's hot. And this is Luann. He's hot. He's an artist. He's a male. He has a penis. That's all they need, honey. All they need is the penis. That's it. But Sonia wants the pocketbook too. She wants the penis and the pocketbook. She don't want no damn broke ass artist sitting around playing the guitar. Did y'all see Ramona when she was like, "Oh my God, I'm just feeling this. I'm feeling it so." I'm feeling it so much. Is this your own music? I just love it. It's so funny. Anyway, so you said I'm into bankers, bitch. So the nude model gets there. He rips off his thing. Everybody is so happy and shocked to see a dick, honey. God, like they ain't never seen one before. I guess what the men say ain't no pussy like new pussy. I guess ain't no dick like new dick. Hello. Okay, you too. Oh, God. Okay, so white women love to play prude and conservative. It's the hypocrisy. They start talking about the C word. Leah is saying that she feels physically ill because her grandmother is on her way out, and so she is feeling the effects. And if you're close to a parent, grandparent, a friend, or relative, when they die or they're leaving this earth, you literally feel it in your body. So I could understand what she was talking about. She was like, I feel sick. My grandmother is about to die, and I know that I'm not going to be able to talk to her again. I'm not going to have another conversation with my grandmother, so it's like really fucking with me. So Leah's going back and forth between crying and they're trying to console her, and she's just like on edge or whatever like that. So they sit down. They're all sitting down having a conversation. The nude model, they haven't ripped off clothes off the nude model. He was just there, and they were saying how handsome he was with his clothes on. We get to him ripping off his clothes later, and they being all excited about the dick. Leah, that's when Leah goes off. Don't compare me to your daughter. I'm not your daughter. I'm not Avery. And she gets up and she walks out. She's yelling, screaming at the girls. She gets up and walks away. Sonia says, leave Leah alone. Leave her alone. Sonia, like when Sonia is the voice of reason, honey, I don't know where we are, what planet we are, but Sonia was the only one that was really like in tune with what was going on. With Leah, she kept saying, leave Leah alone. With Eboni, she was like, that's not what she said. She was the only one that kept saying, she didn't say she was the smartest. She said she was the most educated. And I think a lot of people forget that. Like, just because the person has all of these degrees and letters or whatever doesn't mean that they're the smartest person, period. Eboni did not say she was the smartest person. When you are insecure about your level of intelligence, you will feel, when somebody says that they're the most educated, you will feel like they're saying you a stupid idiot. If you operate from there, and Luann let us know, is she trying to make us feel like idiots? Well, bitch, can't nobody make you feel like nothing you ain't, bitch. Period. And she said she was I'm the most educated at this table. And then like even Sonia was like, it's a resume, girl, relax. Like, she's just giving you her resume. That doesn't say that she's better. And then Luann says it's about being a lady. It's about being a lady. She equates Catholicism with education and class. So Luann was talking out the side of her fucking neck, because at first she said, well, they come from church and you're a church girl. And then she went on to say it was about education and class. And she was like, what are you talking about? Because I'm educated. I'm probably the most educated here, and I still talk that way, and it doesn't mean anything. What does that have to do with anything, how educated you are, to show how, I guess Luann is saying, because a lot of people say, oh, Erica, you cuss so much. Why? I mean, aren't you educated? Aren't you smart enough not to use curse words? A person can be as intelligent as they can come and still cuss or use colorful language. That one doesn't have anything to do with the other. Nothing at all. And so she was like, your degree makes you more educated. And she was like, yes. And she was like, yeah, I am more educated. So then Leah comes back when they're in the middle of the education in class, because it was really a conversation about class. And it was really a conversation to say, because you speak this way, you don't have class and you may not be educated and you probably don't go to church. So this is all what Luann was saying. And then she tried to say she didn't say that. Bitch, that's exactly what the fuck you said. You were trying to say that if you were a Catholic girl and you went to Catholic school, then you have some education. And if you have some education, then you got some class. And if you got some class, then you wouldn't be talking about sex the way you do. But see, what you forgot was that the most educated woman at the table was about to tell you, bitch, you trash for that. And you're trash. Yeah. You're trash for equating the way a person talks with class. Period. You're trash. You're trash. You're trash. And you should know it. What did Eboni tell Luann on the way out? You should know it. You trash, and you should know. I'm glad she told her she was trash. Ramona says that Leah was being so defensive and aggressive. Now, I did mark that down because I said if they would have used those words on Eboni, we would be burning the city down, right? She did call Leah aggressive and defensive. And then when Eboni was like, well, you guys weren't saying nothing about Leah, Ramona did. She already did, right? So when Eboni starts talking, here's the microaggressions. Why are you yelling? Bitch, we're in a heated conversation. Don't police my tone in the middle of a heated discussion because you know I'm getting in your ass, and all of a sudden, why are you yelling? Oh my God, I can't deal with the yelling. When Leah was just standing up here and yelled over the table at everybody and walked away. Well, yeah, she was yelling too. And then Ramona was like, my ears. And then Eboni, she goes, I'm not here for your white fragility. I was like, okay. All right. That's where you lost me, Eboni. Everything else, I was with Eboni. But when she hit Ramona with the white fragility thing, Ramona was like, what are you talking about? I just was saying that I can't hear. That don't have nothing to do with me. So I was with Eboni. When the way Eboni cussed Luann's ass out, I was there. I don't think what she was giving to Ramona was warranted because Ramona was really just being a bitch and complaining, and she does it with everybody, right? So I'm still waiting to see the microaggressions from Ramona towards Eboni. I'm still waiting because another thing white women know to do, they know how to act in company. Okay? All right. She made us feel like idiots. Sonia said she did not say that. She did not say she was the smartest. She's like, I have an education. She ran down her resume. And like Sonia said, it's just a resume. What are you so bent out of shape for? You so bent out of shape because there's some insecurity there. You can't stand that this woman is sitting at this table saying she's the most educated. And then I love when Luann was like, well, educated means to me, do you speak foreign language? And are you well traveled and this and that? No, that don't have nothing to do with education. There are people who have 1,000 letters behind their name and ain't been out the United States. That don't have shit to do with you. You speaking, being multilingual doesn't mean you're educated. That doesn't see, and that's why I said, Luann, you was losing ground, bitch. You was losing ground. Anyway, you tried to say that the church was equivalent to class, and that's trash, and you know it. And she said, and it's trash, and she was like, nobody's gonna come in my house and tell me I'm not educated. Well, Luann, I could leave your raggedy ass house. I could leave your house. And she gets up and she starts walking away. She's like, because I didn't say that. I didn't say what you're trying to say that I said. She was like, well, I think you should leave. And anyway, she was like, well, I think you're trash anyways. And it was said to be continued. And that was it, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think. Luann, what did you think about the way that Luann was acting? I was like, ooh, she got you. Because Luann was like, I didn't mention your race. Why are you mentioning race? I didn't mention your race. Girl, you know what you was doing by the education thing. You were so offended by that. I already know what the tea was with that. You don't want no black woman sitting at the table with you telling you that she's more educated than you. And you're not used to that. And so you feel like you don't want nobody making you feel like an idiot. Nobody can make you feel like an idiot but you. No one's education should make you feel like an idiot. Especially if they run their education off to you. And I'm so happy that Sonia was like, that's not what she said, because you know the white women, they'll be like, girl, I don't know, I didn't hear, I couldn't quite hear what she said, I really didn't hear it, trying to stay out of it, right? Did y'all hear when Heather was like, I'm listening, I'm a podcaster? Girl, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Anyways, y'all, I'm out of here. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. I'm trying to face straight, and the camera's here, and I should have turned my body this way. That's why I was looking funny. I have the camera over here instead of over here, so that's the only reason why I was trying to see what it was going to look like. So we'll see what it looks like, because normally it's like this instead of like this. But anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.